We have all heard the bizarre, historical accounts of it raining frogs or raining fish. But on August 7, 1994, the small logging town of Oakville, Washington, experienced a weather event that was far more terrifying and highly toxic. It was a typical, overcast Pacific Northwest morning when the rain started. But the people of Oakville quickly realized this was not water. Falling from the sky were billions of translucent, gelatinous blobs, roughly half the size of a grain of rice. They blanketed the entire town over a 20-square-mile area. They covered cars, roofs, and fields in a thick, slippery layer of goo. A local resident, Sunny Barclift, went outside to check on her property. She noticed that the substance was incredibly sticky and had a strange, foul odor. Within hours of coming into contact with the blobs, Barclift became violently ill. She experienced extreme vertigo, nausea, and difficulty breathing. And she wasn't the only one. Over the next few days, the local hospital was flooded with dozens of Oakville residents suffering from the exact same severe, flu-like symptoms. But it wasn't just humans who were affected. Tragically, animals exposed to the rain, including Barclift's new kitten and several local dogs, died quickly and mysteriously. Barclift collected a sample of the blobs and sent them to the Washington State Department of Ecology for testing. The results were deeply disturbing. The blobs were not a synthetic chemical, and they were not a plant substance. The lab technician discovered that the gelatinous material contained human white blood cells. It was biological. It was alive. A second test conducted by a microbiologist at the State Department of Health found two specific species of highly contagious bacteria inside the blobs. One of the bacteria was famously known to live in the human digestive tract. The sky had literally rained human cellular material and toxic bacteria on a small American town. Panic set in. What the hell was happening? Theories erupted immediately. Some suggested it was waste from an airplane bathroom that had frozen at high altitude and melted as it fell. But the FAA strictly prohibits airplanes from dumping waste in midair, and human waste is dyed bright blue with chemicals. The Oakville blobs were crystal clear. Others proposed it was pieces of jellyfish blown miles inland by a freak storm. But jellyfish do not have human white blood cells. The most terrifying, and widely believed, theory involves the military. Residents recalled seeing low-flying, unmarked military aircraft circling the town just days before the blobs fell. The U.S. military has a deeply documented, horrific history of conducting secret biological warfare tests on its own citizens. In the 1950s, the military secretly sprayed zinc-cadmium sulfide over cities to simulate how a bioweapon cloud would spread. Were the Oakville blobs a new, experimental biological weapon or a pathogen dispersal test that went wrong? When local media pressed the military for answers, they firmly denied any involvement or knowledge of the event. No official government agency ever provided a conclusive explanation for what the blobs were or where they came from. Over time, the blobs evaporated, and the residents slowly recovered. But the memory of the toxic rain haunts Oakville to this day. A terrifying reminder that we don't always know what's in the clouds above us. And sometimes, the monsters aren't hiding under the bed, they are falling right out of the sky. Subscribe to Echoes in the Dark, new mysteries unsealed every week.